presentation, I want to talk about one thing and one thing specifically. So what do you do, or what do I do? What insights can I provide to when you're in a loss on a trade? Do you take the loss? How do you handle the loss? And kind of what's the mindset that goes behind that? So that being said, that's what I'm going to discuss in this video here. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe before we start this. It's going to be a short video, but make sure you like, subscribe. When we put these videos out, if you like them, try to share them with your friends. We put a little bit of time into them, try to give you guys some insights to the market. So that being said, I'm going to start with this video to talk about this. The trade I'm in, and I'm going to start with this, is TLT. Okay, so again, the reason I want to start here and focus on this is real simple. Again, most of the time, what I see in a lot of videos just in the market, I've done this for quite a while, especially on YouTube, is people just talk about like trades, their wins, their losses, etc., and you don't really get a lot of value out of it, right? So my opinion, I want to go through and explain to you, like on this current trade that I'm sitting here in TLT. Again, it's a really small position, but I have a few of them that I've been slowly adding positions on through the week. Okay, so I'm not really down too much on some of these positions. Really, the total loss on P&L wise, and there's a few things to learn from this video, is I'm down about $500 on this position. Okay, so some of these positions have plenty of time. So these ones are the 226, which expire tomorrow. So I got rid of those didn't work, but I have these from March 19. March 19, those are going to expire. I got rid of those. March 19, March 19, March 19, another March 19. Okay. So first and foremost, the first lesson to take from this is whenever I put a position on in an equity, I literally look for different expirations and different maturity dates. Okay, so if I believe in a trade that's going to work and I think it's going to be a larger move, I'll use multiple strikes. So I'll have like a core position, then I trade around it. That's number one. Number two is I never just fully go into a position on full risk. Okay, so let's say for example your risk in the markets at every max trade is the max you can allocate is $1,000. Okay, so there's very rare situations if risk is per trade $1,000 where I just dive into a trade and I run $1,000 position. Okay, so usually I kind of scale into it and then I add to it as I see fit. Okay, so on TLT, which is the ETF for the 20-year, I started this position. Let me just zoom out for a second. A while back on this, right? And it wasn't too far back, but I started to build a position a few days ago. Okay, now obviously this is kind of turned lower. Now, typically what happens is when people trade the markets, in my experience in coaching, is this. People dive right into a position with full size right away. And if the trade doesn't work in the first 5, 10, 15 minutes, or even 2 or 3 days, they tend to panic and get out of the trade, right? And they have like losses. So obviously, I didn't think it would pull this far back, right? But when I look at my analysis, I always have this concept called max Payne levels, or areas where I believe price. Look, if it gets to these levels, I'm willing to add to it. Now, there's going to be a cutoff point where I'm going to say, hey, look, this doesn't make any sense for me. I'm just going to take the loss and get out of it. But since the cutoff point is so close to another support level, right, we had 2 here, I'm not going to basically take myself out of this position, especially when I have time on it. Now, again, when I normally trade directional options, I try to be in some positions for 1 to 5 days if I'm using short-term options. If I'm using something that's like a 90-day, 6-month leap option, I never trade it for 1 to 5 days. It's a little bit different. So in this scenario, I want to hold this position, right? So it's a small loss. I won't take a full loss on it. So again, if it pulls back here, will I add to it? Yes, but I'm not going to add to it where it's like my entire account goes in it. It's still a few basis points of what the entire portfolio is at. In this current example, this is the 3K account challenge that I'm doing. So the risk really won't go too high on this particular situation. It'll be really small, and I really just won't continue adding into it. So what I see a lot of traders do that are new to markets, especially with shares or short-term trading, is they add into positions. Okay, so this is not to be confused with adding into positions you believe in long-term. Okay, so let me just talk about something briefly. Is, let's say for example, like Leslie's pulls. I like this position for long-term portfolios. And this one, as it's pulled back, I've continued to add small shares over and over. The difference is between a long-term position and a short-term trading position is I expect this to be a 1 to 2 year hold for me in the market, so I'm not concerned with daily fluctuations. On a trade like TLT, because it's a 1 to 5 day trade, it might turn into a 2 week trade. Yes, I'm concerned with the fluctuations because I'm short-term trading it. So when you're managing risk and when you're looking at markets, you have to differentiate how long you're going to hold that position. Is it a long-term portfolio play or is it an income trading play? And once you define that, typically tends to be easier to kind of set your risk parameters and know when to add or when to take a loss in the markets. So that being said, I hope this video helped. If you have questions, leave a comment below. Head over to our website. We have an options course, a few of them actually. One is options abilities. I kind of talk about these concepts briefly. So again, when you're looking at markets, you're new to this stuff, make sure not just to look at technical analysis. Understand there's a lot more that goes into this portfolio management, stock selection. It's not just drawing lines on charts and saying, hey, look, I'm done. I can start making money in the markets. That being said, good luck trading. Make sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.